on. Hello, everybody. Just wait a couple of minutes. Oh, this is amazing. Amazing. I'm so happy that we've got Carolina on. This is bloody marvelous. Right, amazing. Everyone that comes on, please say hi in the comments box, like where you're from. And I know there's a lot of people that are in the group that know you, Carolina. So a lot of people are being like, yeah, can't wait to jump on. So Carolina, welcome. Thank you for joining me on the live this morning.
You're welcome.
We've just been talking like how quickly September's gone, like it's just like getting back into it, and you've had like a bit of time off, and like just getting back into the routine I found has been really hard for me, and catching up with myself. And you said the same, haven't you?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, just like wow. And then it's October. It's like
I know tomorrow's the 1st of October. So Carolina, tell us, you joined. So I've known you for quite a while with other communities that we've been like involved in. So our path has crossed and we do know each other. Lisa's on, hello. So, but what made you want to do quantum flame healing?
I kept seeing some of the people, what they were sharing, that they had joined the previous. I did want to join the previous intake, but I was just not ready at that time. I was like focused on other things. So the next opportunity I had, I really wanted to join more for myself. I wanted to, because I've been on a spiritual journey for many years. And I hadn't done anything for myself for quite a while. So I joined the quantum flame healing for me to kind of grow spiritually. And then, so obviously the fact that I can help other people, and I love helping other people. So that made me join. And some of the things that attracted me were like, for example, the light language, because I've been exploring that a little bit more, and I just wanted to experience that at more in depth, I'd have more kind of in-depth experiences of those things. So that's why I joined.
Amazing. And I have to say, like, we connected a lot on the light language. When we did like the light language module, we've sort of like picked up on like the same kind of vibe that we were both having. And every time we do it, like, I know I grow like a little bit more into it and like open more into it. And you do, don't you? Like the more, and then you see everybody else's experiences. Like, do you remember the module we did? And like everyone was like connecting with it. It was like we were around a campfire almost, wasn't it?
And since then my light language has had a different, like, it's grown even more.
Really? What way?
So what I have found is I have like 2 or 3 languages that I speak, like my language, my light language. But in sessions that I've had with other people, it's like I'm channeling their language. So I start speaking languages that I'm like, this is not mine, but it's like it's coming through for the person that I'm doing the session, and it just like kind of comes and flows. And I've had it 3 times now. It's the 3 different languages that have come through.
And did they understand? Did they feel it? Did they say
what? They can feel it. They said that one especially said, until you started the chanting, they called it. She said something kind of really clicked and opened in me. They said it was like I needed to hear that. So they actually feel that in their soul when we are in the quantum. So it's been amazing.
Wow. So I've just got, honestly, I've got truth bumps. So almost like you're an interpreter, or you're literally connecting them to their light language almost.
That's how it felt. I was like, the first time it happened, I was like, oh, this is another language. And then I thought, I started kind of feeling it more. And I was like, no, this is not mine. This is theirs. So it's like, and then it happened again and again. And I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. So I want to explore that more and see how I can develop that more.
You have to, because to be honest, I've never heard that, Carolina. Like, I haven't heard anyone say that. Like, we've all got like our own like language that we tune into, but like, wow, you're like the interpreter. Like, people could come to you and you could connect them to their light language.
That's what Emma said. She said you're an interpreter or translator. So I was like, oh yeah, I've never heard that before. So yeah.
Oh my God, this is incredible. And this is what it does. Like, this is what the quantum does. Like, it literally leads you down into possibilities that you never would have thought about, or felt that you maybe there was something that was always within you and felt stuck and never could come about. Do you know what I mean? I always felt like people's pain in bodies or certain things, and I used to like think it was all me, like think it was like my stuff that was coming through, not that I was doing it for other people to tell them where to take notice. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I've noticed that more as well. That I noticed that when people tell me things, I've noticed that I've developed more the sense of like understanding and feeling it for them, you know.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I think you have to be aware of that so that you don't allow that to just absorb, you know, you don't absorb it and take it on as yours. So I think that has been quite good, is to develop that sense that, okay, that's them or that's somebody else's stuff, and just to make sure that I don't absorb that. Yeah. But yeah, it has been amazing. Yeah, some of the things, I mean, like the symbols I've had, my symbol is very strong and people feel it quite a lot when I use my symbol. I used it on my daughter the other day. I said, I'm gonna show you what the quantum, you know, because she knows Reiki.
Yeah.
So I said, she said, what's the quantum, Mommy? I said, do you want to feel it? And I put it a bit here. And she said, oh, Mom, it's hurting my eyes. So she could feel it so strong that she was like, don't put it on me. And then I said, okay, can you feel it here and there? And so we were trying it in different places. And she said, yeah, but my eyes, and like anything above here, she said it was hurting her eyes. So it's so strong. And yeah,
really?
and so we were kind of playing a little bit with the quantum. So she went and told friends that she knows how to do the quantum now. So
this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And you know what the thing is? The more we speak about, like my son, just like the quantum is like part of his day. Do you know, like when he hears the quantum and quantum healing, what it can do, it is now in his psyche that this is how things should be. This is how you heal. This is how you can shift things. This is like, he's heard me speaking my light language, like all of that is nothing new to him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think it's really great that we can pass that on, you know. And my daughter, she was telling me that she was scared of spiders. And I said to her, is this something that is yours, or is this something that you're absorbing from other people? And she said, she said, so I said, come on, ask yourself. So I've kind of like started asking her to check with her third eye, and she's doing it so well. And she's like, it's not mine. I said, so, okay, so can we let it go? And she's like, I need help with that's when we were practicing with the quantum. I just said, okay, let's see if I can clear it for you. And so yeah, she's just doing all those things, and she's like telling her friends, look, I can do the quantum, come and show you.
She's saying, this is what we want. Oh my God, this is incredible, Carolina. We need to bring your daughter on.
She's spoken light language since she was born, basically. So the first she's got her own language, which we call Gracie language. And yeah, it's really amazing.
What is that? How old is she?
She's 8. She's nearly 8 now.
And she's got her own language. And when does she connect into it?
She used to hum it first before she could even speak. She could hum that language. And then she started speaking it. So it was her language that she would speak. So yeah, we sometimes communicate in Spanish, sometimes in English, and sometimes in Gracie language. Yeah.
Honestly, you've blown my mind, Carolina. Like, we need your daughter on. We need your daughter on Quantum for Kids. Like, that is incredible. But I do believe, like, all children have this. They do have this, but then we just like give them so many words and languages and like try to coerce them into a form that they can't express themselves. And
Yeah.
a lady here has just said, sounds amazing. Tracy Holmes, she sounds amazing, but I just can't get my head around it, the light language. What would you say to that,
I would
Carolina?
say you don't want to get your head around it because it's not something to understand logically.
Yeah.
I think it's something that you feel. And when you hear it, you just feel it and you understand something. And it's difficult to say, do you understand it? Yeah, I understand it, but it's not like understanding it in the head.
Yes.
You feel it in your body and it tells you something. And sometimes it allows you to express your feelings, or sometimes it allows you to release something. And I think that's what that light language I've used in sessions has allowed people to just deepen that experience of the quantum energy and allow it to come in, because sometimes sound is what opens that deeper layer, allows things to come in. So yeah, I would say not try to get your head around it, just allow it, because the more you're are open to just receive it and allow it to come through, the more that would happen.
It's so true. It's so true. Just like Lisa's just said here, like she just did it again. And sometimes it's that ego, isn't it, within us that won't let us go, that won't be released, because we think them feelings come in of like making yourself look, if you feel stupid, or like the shame if it's not like light language. And there is no script, there is no right sound, there is no wrong sound. It's just feeling and an expression that just comes from within, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes I've noticed the chanting, it can start with chanting, I think. Sometimes if you just allow it to come, I notice in the shower, sometimes I just start chanting something. Or if I'm happy, say, for example, walk in the woods, and I just start allowing that, and I just start letting it out. I think that's a good practice kind of thing to do, is that see if something comes through and allow that. I think you do have to clear the voice, you have to clear the throat chakra sometimes.
Yes.
Because that I had done quite a bit of work on that, and I noticed that allowed the light language to come
That's
through
a good
more and
tip.
more.
Yeah. So Tracy, maybe just like put like a chakra clearing, like frequency on, like connect with what you feel made like you have around your throat chakra. Because again, it all comes down to we've all been scared to express how we truly feel. And this is like part of our life's path. If you've been stuck, or if you've been suppressed, or you've been in relationships where your voice hasn't been heard, or you have been felt like it's not safe, like that's a big thing, not feeling safe that you can actually express yourself. And because it's something so new, again, it puts you into that situation of not feeling safe because it's new, isn't it? And people, they do think as well with light language, because it's like speaking in tongues, and there's a lot of people that have been in sort of like religious backgrounds, that when you speak this language, that you're almost like being possessed. That's a big thing that's come up, Carolina.
Yeah, definitely, because I knew, like when I was young, there were people that spoke in tongues, and it was a very religious kind of thing, and it was like seen as not a very good thing at all.
No.
Because there are also like, you have to kind of acknowledge that there's that part of like charlatans that try to take your money doing that kind of thing as well. But yeah, so there's a lot of negativity and connotations and everything like that. So I think it's just a matter of letting that aside, leaving that aside, and just allow that. It's always, I think that's one thing, is that we always do it with the highest intention, and with the with the kind of white light kind of energy, rather than going into any negativity or anything like that. So yeah.
And that's like anyone that's watching, like how do you work in this energy? We evoke, there's always yin and yang. There's yin and yang in life. This is how things happen. But when we work in the quantum, and the biggest thing about part of being a quantum flame healer, We only evoke the pure white light. We work with creator, source, God, which is that purest of energies. When we do any healing, is always with permission with a person that we're healing, or obviously with ourselves, is always in that space. And when you evoke only the pure white light, the purest of intentions, that beautiful, like calling in the archangels, that is all that we work in. That is all that we work in. And other people that try and talk about like the dark side, for me, it's not in my realm. I know that obviously we have to have certain things to make us aware of what's going on. But it's not something, I mean, we protect ourselves. And you brought that really good point up, Carolina. And that was a big part of me taking this journey as well, is protecting my energy and not absorbing. And we do go into this a lot with protection within quantum flame healing. We do a lot of that, because when you're an empath, when you're open, when you're there channeling, like when you're channeling, because I do believe, and it took me a while to understand, healing doesn't come from me. I don't need to give a part. All I am is channeling what I feel that they need, and it's coming through me because it'll be more receptive to them, whatever state they is. And I can be that, like, standing from the side and see what they need. I'm not in them. I can just see and give an objective I can hold the space objectively to what I feel needs to be channeled to them. And then when you get your head around that and know that you don't have to give yourself parts of your own energy to this, it's a big game changer.
Yeah, like definitely massive. And I do feel that the channeling is just so pure and so strong. Like, it's so clear, the messages I get when I work with people. So far they've always been spot on. Like, some messages that have come in, it's like, okay, I've got this and I've got that. And sometimes I connect to their guides, sometimes I connect to my guides, and sometimes I just connect to themselves. And then the messages are always like, wow, that is like spot on. And they are very small messages, but they are so clear and so precise. So I think that's really
amazing.
Yeah, I enjoy.
So Carolina, talk about the story that you posted not long ago that we put on the page.
Okay, so this is a lady that I've worked 3 times now. We've done 3 sessions, and I've worked with her in other modalities as well, and we've cleared quite a lot there, but there was a lot still to be cleared. And with quantum, it was like a different level completely. Her physical issues, they were the main ones. We didn't actually work on anything specific because I didn't want her to go into her head. So I said, let's see what you need to work on today, and whatever you need, let's go for the highest intention and whatever you need there. That was the first session, and literally she healed her issue with the foot, that she had tibial rotation. It was like, basically for months her foot had been on a 45-degree angle, so one foot like this and the other one like this.
Wow. Okay.
She went to the physio straight after, like 2 or 3 days after the session, and the foot was like this.
No.
And the physio could not believe it, and he was like, okay, what have you been doing, because this was just completely like straight. She had back issues and also concussion for many years. Like, she had it like 20 years ago or something. And also that had adjusted. The physio didn't want to kind of acknowledge so much of that, but it was like, okay, this is working. So he was like saying, yeah, keep on doing what you're doing. But it wasn't like before. She said that the physio had been saying, you need to do this, and this exercise.
Yeah.
And that time he was like, continue doing what you're doing, because he just couldn't believe it. Because of all the issues that she'd had, she was on high states of alert a lot of the time.
All right.
And she was tracking this on a tracker every day, like how many times she was on like high alert or like fight, flight,
right,
or that kind of thing. And basically the numbers changed dramatically. Like, so she was in, I think at the beginning when she started tracking, it was something like 5% of the time she was in actual normal state, like you know, in a neutral state.
Yeah.
And then that went up to like 40% or something. So the number of times that she was in fight flight also went down from 40 to like 17, and it's continued to kind of improve that way. And yeah, her kind of sense of safety and well-being had changed a lot. In the second session, she sent me some feedback, and she said her eyes had not been that bright in years or ever, basically, that even people noticed, and they were saying, oh, what's happened? You're so bright. You look, your eyes are sparkling. Somebody else said that to me as well, that their eyes sparkle after the session. So it's like you come into that space of well-being and like neutrality, that where you start, you're not in that space of like stress. Yeah, so I mean, with her, it's been absolutely amazing, and the way she's talked to her, the relationship with her mom, the way she saw it has changed a lot. With her brother, she's able to speak more openly, and she's embracing her spirituality as well. And things that would kind of spiral in her head now are not doing that as well. So it's absolutely amazing.
How many sessions did she have with you, Carolina?
She's had 3 sessions so far.
I mean, that sounds like a year's work.
Yes, definitely. I mean, for her, some of the things is being years and years and years of therapies and different things that she's tried, and it hasn't really done much. Yeah.
Do you know, like listening to you say it, like you wrote it in there, but like listening to you talk, like it honestly really, I literally feel like a little bit choked up. Like,
yeah, I think it's amazing. Yeah. I worked with somebody else, a member of my family, and they had hip issues, but also like unable to breathe properly. You know, when you're unable to breathe, and she was quite anxious. And we did one session, and the whole tightness on her chest disappeared completely, and her hips are much better, but she's feeling a lot calmer about other issues that were not even in the session, were not touched in the session. And one of the messages I said was that she needed to cleanse the kidneys.
okay.
And she said, oh my God, I've been thinking that it's my kidneys that are giving me issues. And so she went and had a cleanse, an energetic cleanse with somebody who does all that kind of, I said, you need kind of like a shaman or something like that. Yeah. And they went and said, yeah, exactly, that was blocked. So I was like, okay, so the messages do work.
Oh my gosh. And look, the thing with this, and we've studied like all modalities, like we've shared, like we share it like a modality, we've done all that. I think the most amazing thing that came to us while we were putting Quantum Flame healing together, and the stories and listening to people, is that it's healing with love and not through fear. Because when you feel you've got all this trauma, okay, and people say that, don't they? I've got too much to get rid of. I've got like too much trauma, or it's never going to work for me. It's already that fear that they're going to have to go through that. Mm-hmm. That's the only way to heal. If they keep facing it and they keep like doing it, but this just clears it without having to put you through it.
Yeah, it just does it in such a gentle way. It's gentle, but it's also very strong. I don't know how to explain it. It's like very effective, like so quickly. Some things get done like straight away, basically. But it's also done in a gentle way that you don't feel, like you say, you do have to still assimilate the changes, I think, and allow the body to adjust to those new realities. But it's done in it's a very gentle kind of healing modality.
That's it. There's a process, like when you clear anything energetically, there is still a process afterwards. There's still like a shedding almost of afterwards. Where you'll feel emotions going up and down, and that is 100% what you go through. And like it, we're very clear on that. Yeah. But because you haven't been traumatized with the healing, you sort of like the other bit that comes, you almost recognize that that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You almost go, okay, so and we prepare like through the training, like we say, like just prepare like whoever you're working with, whoever you're holding a session with, to be kind to themselves, you know, to drink water, to go and ground, to connect to the elements.
Yeah, to rest. I think that we forget to rest sometimes. You know, people just want to carry on the same thing. And every time I've said, you know, if you need to rest, and then most people, they say, oh my gosh, I just needed to sleep for so long, and they do actually sleep better afterwards as well.
Yes.
Because, you know, if your body is going into that space of relaxation, and everybody has, I've had the same with everybody, and even myself, it's like that deep sense of peace and relaxation that you get after a session that you don't get with it. You know, I've had it with Reiki maybe a couple of times, but otherwise it's just like nothing else that gives you that sense of wow, you know, just complete peace and relaxation.
Peace.
But then you do have to rest as well sometimes, quite a lot. Yeah.
Because it is so powerful, because quantum is this infinite space that holds everything that you need. If you need that to clear or that to heal, it's sort of like it calibrates it for you. It does all this for you. And then when you bring in your guides, your ancestors, you bring in the archangels, you bring in the light language, it just intensifies it and just sparks it up. But I think when people hear quantum, they think of like the sciencey side. It's been like shrouded, like what is the quantum? And the more that I've delved into the quantum, and I've read like a few doctors that have really had their eyes open between the science and the spirituality connection. You know, that there is like the energy of everything is real, and science and spirituality share the same that's the same viewpoint. Everything is energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we are, I feel like myself and Emma, we're interpreting it in a way that everybody will understand, instead of it being shrouded with
because in the past, I think quantum healers, you know, I follow quite a few people in the past, and it seems to be this kind of taboo, or kind of this hard thing to get into, you know, like only some people can do it. Whereas the way you've kind of approached it and the way you're kind of sharing it with us, it's like, okay, we can all do it, and we can all help other people to do it as well, which, you know, and that demystifies that a lot, you know, the whole thing. And I've been reading and listening to so much stuff recently as well. There's more of this coming, you know. This is the way that humanity is developing right now, and the messages that, you know, you're passing on, and I'm like listening from other people as well, and it's like, oh wow, you know, and it's like it's coming through in humanity, and we are doing this work because we are the ones that need to do that and pass it on to other people, you know.
We do. I mean, look, like Dolores Cannon has been talking about quantum for how long? Do you know what I mean? Albert Einstein, like all these great pioneers, okay, that have talked about the energy in the quantum field, like all of these people that are talking about it now. Like, we need to rise, because I feel like in the world it's been very dense. Been very dense, like the whole world, the wars, everything that's going on. But I do feel, and I feel like within my soul, within every time like I hear something inspiring, I know the consciousness is rising.
And we are doing it with quantum.
The consciousness is rising, but it's really important that we share this. It's not just for myself and Emma to go, right, we're just keeping this. Like, what we want people to understand with this modality, you can do anything you want. There is no restrictions. You can use it in any business, in any part of your life. You learn it and you just go out there and just share it even more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I've had a really nice experience, personal experience, about a couple of months ago. I had a fallout with a member of my family.
Okay.
And it was partly to do with me putting boundaries in place and saying no, you know. And it was very interesting because it didn't hurt me, you know, like I would be like really, really hurt by it, like really, really bad. But that happened, and I took it to the quantum, and it was about having my whole family. So my mom, dad, brother, my brother that died also had to be there, and myself, and we had to be there for 10 days.
Okay.
On the 11th day, this person contacted me. They had blocked me. They had deleted my message, you know, my messenger, my everything. And then on the 11th day, this person contacted me, and it was all good. So,
wow.
And I just had this trust that whatever was needed, it had to go into the quantum. You know, whatever we needed, and whatever it was. And I knew it wasn't me. What I knew was, you know, that person's issues and stuff. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust it. And then seriously, it was the day after we came out to the quantum. It was like, okay.
And that happened.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I just say though, I did a live on this yesterday. And I talked about boundaries and saying no, and actually standing in the power of standing back and just going, no, I actually don't feel right in this situation. And it's the last month that I've actually given recognition to myself that I do this now with ease, not with, oh my God, they're never going to speak to me. Oh my God, they're never going to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I actually say it now and I go, no, I'm not going to give you an answer straight away because I'm actually not sure that I want to answer you just now. You know, when people say, can you do this for me? And you just think, oh, you know what? Sometimes you just need a minute just to like think about if you want to do it.
Rather than respond.
Yeah, and I went like, no, I'm not going to respond just yet because I actually don't know what I feel about it. I don't know if I want to do it. And now I'll just go, no, actually, I don't. And the crazy thing is, when I was at the hairdresser, he put this spray on my hair before, and it didn't work with my hair, right? It didn't work with my hair. Anyway, when I went back, he said to me, oh, what did you think about that hairspray? Shall I use it on? Before the old Nashua would have gone, oh, yeah, no, that was great. Like, put it on, not wanting to, like, say no. But really, it wasn't really good for my hair at all. And I just went, actually, no. I'm really sorry, but I actually didn't really like it on my hair. Can you just use some oil? And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's little things like that, isn't it? But it does show up and a lot of things that saying no, you know. Yeah,
it's huge. It's huge when you've been a people pleaser all your life, and when you've stomached things that you didn't want to stomach or not do anything. To say no and put in a boundary and not feel scared about how they're going to react is massive.
Yeah, I mean, I was like a bit shocked and surprised at how they reacted, but at the same time, I was like, no, that's what how I need to respond, and that's it, you know. And I left it, and then I was like, okay, but the old me would have been maybe contacting the person before and asking for forgiveness or saying sorry or changing my mind and all that. And this time I was like, no, I'm not changing my mind. That's no.
Wow. And isn't it calming? It's crazy, isn't it? How calm you feel.
Yeah. And I thought, that's something that I don't need to change, and I don't need to kind of like do that. But it was amazing how 10 days, and then on the 11th day, I was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, it's the quantum.
It is. And you know what? Because when you took them into the quantum and you just like ask permission with our higher self and you just give whatever's healing's needed, you need to, if you still need to learn the lesson, this is a big thing as well. There are lessons that we still have to go through. And because we believe that quantum healing, it works at soul contract level. So we come into this existence with soul contracts, with lessons that we have to learn. And you're just like, wow, did we actually pick these soul contracts? And it's like, yeah, we picked these soul contracts. And even like with my family, you know, with how they were, like, you can't believe that. Did I pick a narcissist mum? Why did I pick such an abuse? But we do, like, because there's something that we have to learn throughout our life. But because it is at soul contract level, if you have already learned that lesson and you don't need to be in that cycle anymore, it shifts it.
Yeah.
Without having sometimes to even understand it.
No, that was it. I didn't need to work it out in my head. I didn't need to do anything. I just needed to allow for that space, for all of us to be in that space.
Yeah.
Because it was something that had been, I guess, with us since my brother was sick, and when I was a teenager, so yeah, like 25, nearly 30 years ago. So it was something that had been with us, and it needed to just heal. And we just needed that space to heal ourselves in that space. And then it just happened. And I think we're all a lot calmer after that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And as well, sometimes when it just needs to go, we overthink. When you've been an overthinker because you've been a people pleaser and everything, I think we find the peace that we haven't had to overthink the situation. That's what brings the peace and that's what brings the calm, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not in our head, like thinking.
Yeah, like massively. Yeah. Hello. You all right?
I'm just doing a show, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna have a bit of a break.
Okay, darling. Yeah. All right. Lovely. I love your hat. You go raving. Yeah. So listen, Carolina, how did you feel the training? How did you feel about the whole process? And being really honest, like I want everyone to know the facts, know how the training is and what training is and what how you felt you were supported.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it depends where you're at, I guess, but for me, I just wanted to really go into it. And so I attended all the lives.
Yes.
And I didn't want to, I think maybe one I had to miss, but I really kind of put it all in the diary because I wanted to do it all quickly and also go in the sessions, go into the training. But I think that's what's great is that you kind of allow people to do it as and when they are ready as well. And so there's no pressure. If you miss a session, you can catch up anytime. And also you can dip in and out. It depends which ones take your fancy the most, because I did all of them. But there might be people that are not interested in one thing and they might want to do just the other one first or whatever, So there's the flexibility, I think, is really great. And the fact that they are all recorded and available soon as well, because sometimes you might have to miss it, but you have the time then and you're ready to do it on the day. And the recordings are available very quickly. So that really helps. And I think now that there's all the modules have got notes and everything also, it's fabulous. I think some of the modules, like you say, I think it's great that you notice when something needs more in-depth.
Yes.
A session or something, like you put more on the light language because people wanted to do more and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's been absolutely great. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And now we're accredited with the Complementary Medical Association, and we are trademarked as well. So literally when you're a quantum flame healer, you're a quantum flame healer around the world. You registered, you can put that out there and do it. And also I feel with this, I know there's a lot of healers that are on here already, and I feel like it can touch any part of a business, like any part of a holistic business, whether you're a meditation teacher, whether you're a yoga instructor, even like whether you're an artist, any of that, like it can touch so much. And we've got now an amazing, Rachel's put together an amazing like PowerPoint. So anyone that comes in, wherever they are on their journey, they can go to that and all the information's down there. And it's like a guided through the whole course, which is incredible.
Yeah, I think that really helps. If people are not, you know, able to do some things like, you know, how to do a Zoom or whatever, you know, people just like are able to take the notes and use it, and that is a really great thing to have. I think also for me was like it opened my experiences more, like some things, for example, the feather work. I was like, absolutely amazed by it, you know.
Isn't it?
Things that might seem simple sometimes, and you're like, wow, that was really, really deep. You know?
Like it just shows you like all the avenues. That's why there is 10 modules, because we wanted that spiritual knowledge. Like we wanted to include it all, because this is what people can take whatever they want and use it in their business however they want to.
Yeah, I mean, that session for me was mind-blowing. The messages I got from a little thing in the feather, you know, it's like, oh my god, you know, but such amazing messages I got from that. It was really cool. And I do, I mean, I'm always picking up feathers, but I do see them in a different way now. So.
Yeah, you literally do, don't you? And even feathers that you think, oh, that looks like a little bit, and you're like, oh, do I need to like pick this feather up? Do I need to work with this? Is that what my guides are telling me? Pick that feather
who
up.
Is that? Yeah, who is that battered kind of little feather there? You know, it's like
it is. It's so true, so true. And also, we've got the mentors that have come on now. You know, we've got like we understand sometimes, like we do like the live sessions and everything, but it's nice to be in a group then to get that little bit of extra help, because everyone learns differently and we understand that completely. Like we understand that. And the mentors that we got are the ladies that have started like and are now accredited. So they've been through the process and they understand exactly how it feels if you feel a little bit overwhelmed and you don't know what to do next. Like this is really, really important, because this is the last time, this intake will be the last time that we will be training it. This is the last time we'll be doing like the live trainings, because we want other people now to put this out again. It has to raise the consciousness. We have to set it free, and we have to let others now start teaching it for it to spread even more. So it's an extra special intake, this one, being the live one. And also, are you coming to the in-person, Carolina? Are you coming to the in-person?
Yes, I am.
Yes. So also when you join this, we've got a retreat date on the 11th. And then on the Thursday and the Friday, the 12th and 13th, we've got our very first in-person, like quantum. I mean, it's just, to be honest, I mean, it's just that connection. It's just that sharing. We're going to have a fun day on the Friday. We're going to go out into Oxford and do some really cool bits. But we just want to get together with our community, because we will know each other like online. But you know, when you have that physical,
it's different when you actually meet in person, isn't it? Yeah, when you've been talking to people for months and months and you meet in person, it's very special.
It's so special. So we've literally got this too, and it's free. Like the in-person is free to come down as well, and you'll be part of that. So, and we're going to be doing a live attunement with a difference. So it's going to be like something different and like taking it to that next level almost. Nice. So like we've just got so much going on. We just can't wait. I mean, to be honest, it's just going to be 2 days of chatting. That's it, like how it's going to be. Yeah. You know, we know what it's like, Carolina. We've been to in-persons, haven't we, right?
Yeah.
And the training goes on, but the best bit are when you've got your break.
It's when you can talk. Yeah.
It's when you can talk.
And you can connect with people. Yeah.
So we were like, well, that's what we want to do more. So we were going to do the chatting more, and then we're going to do the attunement, you know? Yeah. So we can't wait. Carolina,
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there
That's
anything else
okay.
you want to add? Like anyone that's worried, like you know, when they're starting their spiritual journey and they want to do it, but they're just like not sure.
I think don't be scared. If you're feeling cold, it's for a reason, and don't be scared of your own spiritual power. I think a lot of
Yes.
the time we get scared of what we're going to experience because we are unlimited people. You know, we are unlimited beings, and I think it is true that we are a bit sometimes scared of what we are going to see and experience. But
Yeah.
this is just a very, very nice, gentle, but also profound experience. So even if you do it for your own growth,
Yes.
do it basically. Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, are you really coming to the in-person? You mean
Yes.
it? Oh
I
my
wasn't going to, but only yesterday things happened because I had something else I wanted to go to. And only last night I made the decision. I said, no, okay, this is not, the other one is not flowing.
God.
And it was partly because I was being called to stay here, you know. I was like, oh gosh. So I was like, okay, the other one can wait. Yeah. So yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming
Oh,
for Thursday. Yeah.
oh, Carolina, thank you so much. Thank you. And honestly, thank you for sharing these stories and your experience and your truth, you know, and your truth on how you felt it. And yeah, honestly, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I just love sharing this because I think this is where we need to be, what we need to do, you know, as people that want the best for others, you know, like just change the
Always.
world that way. Yeah.
That's it. That's our path. And we need to keep rising. And we want people to have that freedom. We don't want people to feel restricted. We just want to be like, look, you've just got to go out and create. And you've just got, because we're all them creative beings. And we just want like everyone to have their own platform, stand in their truth and be authentic, like be their authentic self, because for so long, we've never been given that freedom,
Yeah.
you know, and now we
You're
have. Everyone's saying thank you, thank you,
welcome,
Lisa.
everybody. Yeah.
I know. This is lovely, so inspiring, Carolina. You are truly inspiring. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
is it Grace, your daughter's name?
Yes. Yeah.
We shall get her on as well. We will do. Get her onto Quantum Kids. Thank you so much, my love.
Right. Okay.
Thank
See you.
you,
Have a lovely
darling.
weekend.
You too, darling. You too. Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Bye.